The New Orleans Saints suddenly feel different. What was once a team preparing for a long rebuild now pulses with unexpected energy and focus. A solitary minicamp, by itself unremarkable, has ignited a roadmap that feels destined for real progress. Packed practice facilities, players who arrive with purpose and leave with purpose. A head coach in Kellen Moore not merely overseeing drills, but orchestrating a cultural rebirth. The subtle tension in the air says it all. This franchise is preparing not for survival, but for disruption. Months ago, pundits scoffed at the idea of the Saints being competitive anytime soon. The chatter dismissed them as long shots in a protracted multi-year rebuild, but in just one off-season phase, the tone shifted. The old approach, fast fix solutions and stopgap moves, is being replaced with something far more methodical: craftsmanship. Every detail, from paintball team-building exercises to veteran attendance records at voluntary sessions, reinforces one message: seriousness. This team is no longer playing at being good, they're focused on being great. Nothing exemplifies the transformation more than the offense. When Alvin Kamara rejoined practice, the rhythm of drills and conversations instantly matured. He brought more than talent. He brought a familiar cadence to the offense that was missing. But alongside him arrived Cam Akers. Formerly reliable and productive, Akers wasn't invited merely to pad the roster. His tryout hints at a deeper purpose. Kellen Moore isn't settling. He's pinpointing value. Backfield versatility with teeth. If Akers is here, either he stays as a core weapon or becomes a trade asset that yields a return. This isn't guesswork, it's calculated positioning. Tight ends are emerging as another strategic pillar. Dallin Holker, returning from injury, is already weaving into position drills. Foster Moreau, once sidelined late last year, is quietly ramping up. These two weren't meant to return so early. Their presence suggests offensive adventurism. Moore wants tight ends who can shift coverages, open lanes, and create isolation in mismatches. These developments aren't incidental. They signal depth and design, not contingency. On top of that, non-name additions are quietly gaining ground. Seth Green, the former UFL quarterback turned tight end, is working his way into rotation. Shane Lemieux, familiar to Saints observers, is back in the evaluation mix. These aren't splashy acquisitions, they embody Moore's experimental mindset, fit over hype. Before training camp even begins, New Orleans is assembling an offense that prioritizes scheme flexibility and strategic depth. The most compelling subplot is unfolding under center. This may be the fiercest quarterback competition the Saints have seen in years. Rookie Tyler Shough, a raw yet refined talent, is quietly stacking up reps. His red zone accuracy, third down decision-making, and calm under pressure make scouts and coaches take notice. He's not dazzled. He's delivered, consistently executing plays and demonstrating poise under duress. Then there's Spencer Rattler, whose reputation as a top-tier prospect preceded him. His best throw of minicamp, a seam-to-sideline bullet to Dante Pettis, sparked sideline buzz. It wasn't theatrics, it was substantive execution. Rattler brings measurable explosiveness, an ability to shift momentum, and a confidence that fills the room. His game is fire. Shough offers quiet control. Two different styles coexisting in one backfield, and the balance is breathtaking. All this makes the quarterback decision one of the most essential pieces of Kellen Moore's puzzle. Whoever earns the starting nod must receive clarity before training camp ends, whether that resolves one QB to lead or sends a signal to both. Right now, they're splitting reps evenly, but that equilibrium can't hold. Depth charts need definition. Momentum needs direction. And soon, Moore will need a quarterback in definitive control. While offensive systems take shape, the defense is already roaring to life, particularly in the secondary. The rookie Kool-Aid McKinstry made a statement early in drills, breaking up 2 consecutive passes in the red zone. That kind of instinct and reaction is rare for a rookie, and it shows he's not just quick, he's anticipatory. Quarterbacks are testing him. He's responding. That's the sort of edge the Saints desperately want in their backfield. Other second-year players are stepping up too. Quincy Riley has seamlessly transitioned from position drills to full-team reps, while Rico Payton and Alontae Taylor infuse the secondary with youth and energy. Jonas Sanker caught an interception in early drills, impressive enough that his subsequent absence from practice added a layer of intrigue. What's his status? No official word, but even that silence speaks volumes. This is a group in flux, where status isn't assumed, it's earned. All of this is under the watchful eye of Brandon Staley, the man responsible for turning potential into performance. He's inherited a defense, Anya time and demand, not just depth, but playmakers. That's the direction in which New Orleans' secondary appears to be heading. If the Saints' long-awaited reboot is to have substance, it needs to be broad, deep, and consistent. And what we're watching isn't a collection of half-hearted attempts. It's a cultural shift. From the offense's schematic nuance to the cornerback's physicality, everything points to purpose-built football. Veteran voices are reminding themselves their jobs are not guaranteed. Young players are leaning in, and leadership, on and off the field, is tapping into collective ambition. Is this the beginning of a true renaissance? Based on what we saw at minicamp, the answer is yes. Kellen Moore has ushered in more than a training regimen. He's inspiring accountability. It may still be early, but the ingredients are here. Talent, structure, competition. The Saints are quietly building something more substantial than hype. They're building belief, veteran wildcards, and lingering questions. One of the Saints' most polarizing figures remains in the shadows, Taysom Hill. For years, Hill's hybrid role defied conventional football wisdom. Quarterback, tight end, special teams ace, his Swiss Army knife contributions have been the Saints' secret weapon. But this offseason, he's been conspicuously absent from full-speed drills, and the silence surrounding his return timeline is deafening. At 34, coming off a significant knee injury, the question is no longer just about rehab, it's about reinvention. Can his body handle the load again? Can he still be the threat that once changed game scripts on the fly? What complicates this even more is Kellen Moore's belief in Hill's versatility. Reports suggest Moore intends to keep Hill involved in quarterback packages, sustaining the unpredictability Hill brings to a playbook. But that strategy hinges on Hill being physically ready, not just to jog through reps, but to explode, absorb contact, and outmatch defenders. Until he's cleared, Hill represents uncertainty. He's not forgotten, but he's no longer the guaranteed X factor. Every passing day without on-field participation invites new questions about his future. In a camp dominated by quarterback battles and secondary surprises, the most overlooked drama may be playing out in the special teams unit. Blake Grupa, who impressed last year with his consistency and poise, opened camp by drilling 6 straight field goals, including a show-stopping 61-yarder. His performance left coaches nodding and teammates buzzing. Group's technique and maturity suggest a kicker who's not only capable but confident. But then came Charlie Smythe. The rookie from overseas arrived with little fanfare but made his presence felt instantly. Not only did he match Grupa's 61-yard field goal, but reports claim his kick could have cleared from beyond 70. That's not just leg strength, it's generational power. Smith's emergence has transformed what was thought to be a closed-door contest into one of the most closely watched camp battles. This is no longer Grupa's job to lose, it's a legitimate two-man race. And while the kicking contest is fierce, the team isn't short on levity. In a moment that went viral, Justin Reed and Davon Godchaux lined up for field goals of their own. Reed nailed an extra point. Godchaux didn't. The sideline erupted. Coaches laughed. But beneath the humor was a clear takeaway. Moore is building a team that competes hard, plays loose, and respects every inch of the depth chart. Special teams isn't a side story anymore. It's part of the culture. While Kellen Moore crafts an identity for the offense, Brandon Staley is quietly laying the foundation for a fast, reactive, and opportunistic defense. And it's becoming clear that his fingerprints are all over the secondary. Kool-Aid McKinstry has set the tone early, but he's not alone in creating waves. Quincy Riley, Alontae Taylor, and Rico Payton have brought speed and versatility to a cornerback group that has lacked consistency in recent years. Staley's schemes demand high IQ play from defensive backs, recognition, reaction, and discipline. Early signs suggest this young group is adapting fast. The coaching staff isn't easing them in, they're challenging them daily, and in this competitive cauldron, only the sharpest will earn significant reps come August. McKinstry's emergence is the headline, but the supporting cast is rising with him. The real question is how long this energy can be sustained and whether the right players rise at the right time. For now, every signal points upward. The Saints aren't just resetting, they're reloading. And quietly, this team might be about to deliver one of the most unexpected ascents in the NFL this season.